We have the opportunity, I understand, to have 2 questions. Is this right? And so a lucky 2 people get to have the opportunity to ask a question. A question here at the back. A microphone will come to you.
I will take both questions together. So let's hear the 2 questions.
I don't know whether you have or are planning to written your memoirs yet, but if you haven't, I was just wondering whether which chapter in your book you would find the most difficult to write and why.
Okay, I will take the second question. But I'll come back to you, don't worry.
My name is Ray Minicon. I'm from Australia. I'm an Aboriginal person from Australia. My question is about your views and your perspectives on the role of Indigenous peoples in the world and the incredible marginalisation of Indigenous peoples. And where do you see the UN helping Indigenous peoples?
Let me start with the first question, and to tell you that I'm not in the process of writing my biography, and therefore I haven't even structured it to know which chapter your question would be about. But obviously there have been some wonderful moments and some other painful, difficult moments. Painful not just for me, but for the world as a whole. And Iraq will definitely be one of those difficult issues where all attempts to warn, to prevent the war did not succeed. And we know the circumstances we are in, where 4 million Iraqis, more than 4 million Iraqis have been uprooted, 2 million displaced internally, and over 2 million in exile, mainly in Jordan and Syria. And this is extremely difficult for them. On top of that, you have the violence, the criminality, the difficult daily life that they need to go through. And this was supposed to be their salvation. That was a very difficult period. Not only did it divide the United Nations, but it divided the world. And I lost some wonderful friends and colleagues. The best the UN had. So it was a very painful thing for me and very melancholic. It took me a while to shake that melancholy, constantly thinking of these great colleagues. And in fact, the Samaruga joined me in Geneva not long ago when we unveiled a statue to Sergio Vieira de Mello, who was leading that mission in Iraq. And of course, these are people who went to Iraq to help clean up after a war that should never have been fought. And they lost their lives trying to help. On the question of indigenous people, I think the UN has been quite active on that. We've come up with a convention for the indigenous people. We have a space for them where they meet regularly to discuss issues of concern to them. I also believe that governments should listen to the indigenous people. They have a lot to teach us about living in harmony with nature. If only we had paid attention and learned from them, I think the kind of environmental degradation and the climate change we are talking about would not have happened. I think we should take time to look at how they organize themselves, how in traditional societies, and of course quite a lot of their habitat is being taken away. And I hope that those that are left, whether in Amazon or somewhere, can be protected. But we have to respect their rights. We have to respect the rights of the children, particularly the education of the young people. And I must say that during my term as Secretary General, I did meet a lot with the indigenous people, not just at UN headquarters in New York, in the field, in Latin America and in your own country. I did meet with them, and we need to treat them not as marginalized people, but people with contribution to make, who have rights, and rights that must be protected. Thank you very much.